Hi, I'm May. Welcome to my channel, May's World. Today, I'm going to be continuing my review of Netflix's live action WINX CLUB Fate the WINX Saga. And in case you haven't watched the first part of the review, it's up there. Now, why I made the second part, of the reviews, because as I said in the first part, I hadn't finished watching the series. I only watched like halfway there, and then something happened, so I continued watching the other part like literally the next day. But I couldn't upload a review because of school and exams and so many things. So now I'm doing it. So from the thumbnail, you can see that I said, it's kind of interesting. And some of you might be thinking maybe it's one of the situations where it's like, she didn't watch the whole thing and she judged it quickly. No, that is not it. I stand by everything I've said in my previous reviews of Fate the WINX Saga. It's just that halfway there, I realized that there is literally nothing, and I mean nothing, that is making it same with the actual WINX CLUB. There's nothing. It's just a name. So I decided that from that moment on, I was going to be watching it as Fate the Saga, nothing to do with WINX CLUB at all. So I found that it was kind of interesting, but of course there are some loopholes that I am about to discuss. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about was their friendship. Their friendship was very awkward and fast for me, because like half of the series, they were very tense with each other, like at each other's throats, giving each other some kind of rude, mean remarks and stuff like that. And I can understand that it's a short series, just 6 episodes for that particular season. I might say, okay, each episode was almost an hour, but each episode could be squeezed into 24 minutes if you ask me. So it still felt very short, and it felt like their friendship was very rushed in, because all of a sudden they were hugging, and they were like besties, and it wasn't making sense to me. And Stella, throughout the whole, most of it, like let's say the last episode, was a mean girl. She wasn't nice to them, nice at all. So it was like, all of a sudden they are besties, because she, had a talk session with Misa. They became so close. Like, it was very awkward for me. In one of the episodes, there was an episode where Aisha snitched on them because they were going to free Bellatrix and and also free Rosalind to help Bloom get the information that she needed, and Aisha had snitched on them to Faraganda. And I know you might think, okay, it's kind of right that she did that, because Rosalind was actually a very dangerous person. If you watch it, you know what I'm talking about. She's actually a very dangerous person. But the thing about the WINX CLUB was that they went against the rules so many times. I mean, the actual WINX CLUB, they went against the rules so many times, but they were always together. So when she snitched on them, was like, are you seriously, like, girl, seriously? So that part was a big no-no for me. I mean, the friendship thing that they had together with each other. And that according to the story, Sky and Stella had a teen, and they were kind of like dating or so. But good news was that they broke up, because it was just a very toxic relationship. So yeah, that gave room for Bloom and Sky to actually be together. So yay that. Fast forward to like when the monsters started attacking the school, and they had to like barricade and try to protect themselves or whatever. Bloom had found out from Rosalind that these monsters are after her. So she had decided to escape the school with Aisha and Stella. They escaped the school, and then the monsters had even broken into the school, and it just whizzed through the students, because it noticed that she wasn't there. So it didn't even harm the students. But that part was very, very weird, and it was just way too convenient for me, because if the monsters were after her all this while, why did it harm people? It literally killed people, in the forest. It harmed people, even in the school. Before she had left the school, it had harmed Tara's brother. He almost died. So it's like the monsters were killing people, even though they were still after her. But how come after she realized they were after her and then she escaped, the monsters literally just passed through people? They didn't even care about harming them. They just passed through them to follow her. So that part was just way too convenient for me. It wasn't making sense. Main character syndrome. I know in the actual WINX CLUB, the story kind of started with Bloom, if you know what I mean, and she was the strongest fairy. We could see it, but each character was a main character. You won't exactly notice that Bloom is Bloom. Each character was very main and important, and there was like equalness in the way they showed each character. But in this series, it was just Bloom and the extra. She was like main character. It felt like the rest were just the other WINX CLUB members were just extras in her story, kind of, for me. So that person I really didn't like, because even when she had to fight the monsters, it was just her. The other two girls literally just stayed by the they used their powers here and there, but it was just her fighting the monsters. Like, this is my moment to shine, let me do my thing. And then she got this transformation beings. She had these big fiery beings, and then when she came down, just vanquished into these tiny wings at her back. And I know you might think, okay, the first season of Wings, they had small wings, yeah, so it kind of makes sense. But the difference is that in Wings Club, whenever they transformed with their outfits too, so it was very exciting to see. But this one, after she transformed with the huge wings, and then she now came down and she had these small wings, it was very, very weird and very underwhelming. It was like, really, that's it. And then she just gave like 2 moves and the monsters were dead. So that whole fight scene to me was very underwhelming. It just happened like in a snap of a finger. She just killed the monsters, and then we now saw that the monsters were on like only 5. Only 5 monsters had been terrorizing the whole area, the country, killing people. Just 5 monsters. I thought at least there should have been 20 or something. It was just her. She killed them, and then she was all fainting like, oh no, I'm tired. And after that, there was this thing that happened that gave me total Harry Potter vibes. I believe it was Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince vibe, where Snape had killed Dumbledore, and he and the Death Eater had taken over Hogwarts. That literally the vibes gave me, because later on, after they've killed the monsters and everything, they show us that Rosalind kills Faraganda. I know, right? Like, she killed her. That was crazy. See, that's why I say that this thing gives me more of Sabrina witchy vibes than actual fairy vibes, because they just do some things that you won't expect them to do if you're trying to copy Winx Club. So yeah, she killed Faraganda, and like before she even turned around after killing her, they already did screaming at her grave. So that part was pretty cool, as far she was just that powerful, and she was just that quick. But yeah, she just killed her, and she just killed her so easily. So they made Faraganda seem very weak to me. So yeah, that part was just weird for me to watch, that they actually killed her. So there's that. And there was this part where I think his name is Saul, Sky's father figure kind of dude. He tells him the story of what happened to his dad, how he killed his dad, because his dad was trying to stop him from going to warn the others from killing these people, and he killed him. When they were showing the story, showing the backstory of what happened, it just seemed so funny to me. This guy is supposed to be your best friend, and you just killed him. Even though he was trying to stop you, it didn't even seem like the other guy was going to kill him. But then he just stabbed him with his knife. So I was like, and later on we find out that the people that they actually went to kill were actually evil people, and they were doing some kind of bad magic or something like that. So it wasn't worth the kill. But after Rosalind and the Queen comes to take over, we find out that he's actually alive. So Saul gets arrested for attempted murder. But what got me thinking here? I'm like, wait, so this dude stayed hidden for so many years, probably like 16 years or so. He stayed hidden that long, even though he was alive. Like, his son had thought he was dead. His son did not even know who he was, but he stayed hidden, only to come out when Rosalind told them to come out. So that part was just like, wow, like father of the year, man. And after that, you could see Bloom and her friends. She had gone back to Earth, to tell her parents what was going on, tell them that she's not their real child. And she carried her friends along, and they spent the weekend with her her parents' place. Like, okay, you guys are that close now, you're already spending sleepovers and all that in such a short amount of time. Like, okay, that's cool. And then you see them coming back, and that's when they show us that their school have been taken over by Stella's evil, wicked mom kind of person, and Rosalind and Bellatrix and her followers. So yeah, that's what happened. So it ended there, and I'm sure it left me and so many other people guessing like, okay, what's going to happen now, because I'm curious what's going to happen now. So definitely I'm going to watch season 2 when it comes out. So yeah, that's my total review for it. This is going to be the last this is going to be my last review for Winx Club, but at least till season 2 comes out. And if I was to rate it overall, I'll rate it a 5.5 over 10. Yeah, because I just feel like that's what suits the most. So that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to see more videos from me. See you next time. Bye.